Hey, what's up, diggers? Prospect here with Watcher of Realms. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going over this new Piercer Lord, Iovar. This young man right here. Some of you might know I was lucky enough to pull the hero, and I'd like to go over his kit really quick, just in case any of you pull him, you know what's going on. All right, let's dig in. Alright, we're gonna go right into Iovar. We're gonna go over to, since I have him built already, and promotions. Promotion level 1, he gains a victorious pursuit. Upon casting the ultimate, reduces the attack interval by 20%, and each attack deals 55% damage 3 times. This effect lasts for 10 seconds. If an ultimate consumes 12 flying swords, the duration of this effect is extended by 5 seconds. Promotion level 2, gains a little extra range. Level 3, Lethal Blade Storm. After an allied marksman casts their ultimate, gains 1 flying sword, and the following 3 basic attacks of this hero ignore an extra 15% defense. So a little bit of like piercing effect, I guess. 4, 5, he gets the talent unlocked. We'll go over that in a minute. Alright, that's it for the promotions. Okay, so the talent. Conjures 1 flying sword every 4 seconds. There can be at most 12 flying swords, even though there's 13 in the picture. At the same time, every extra allied marksman on the field increases the conjuring speed of flying swords. Because of the way that this hero is kind of going to be the best at guild boss. To be honest with you, you're probably going to only have 2 other marksmen on the field besides him. So you should be sitting at around 3 seconds. When there are 4 extra marksmen in battle, the conjuring speed maxes out, reaching 1 flying sword every 2 seconds. So with that math, that means it's 0.5 seconds per marksman on the field. But like I said, the best place to use Iovar is going to be in the guild boss, and Hex and Silas are probably going to be the only other 2 marksmen on the field, because they're kind of the only ones worth really bringing along, as far as I can think of anyways. Alright, as for the ultimate, consumes all flying swords and activates the flying sword formation to continuously deal 31% damage to the enemy with the lowest HP in range. The frequency of strikes increases with the number of flying swords, reaching up to 60 strikes with 12 flying swords. So this kind of brings on the debate of whether or not you wait for those 12 swords or you don't. I think it's going to depend based on what you're going up against. If you're fighting the sticks, you probably want to wait. There's 60 attacks. Hitting like that within, what is it, a 3-second period is going to be quite a big deal on the shield. Low cost ultimate at 500, you start off with 300, so you can cycle it pretty quickly. On the basic attack, deals 54% damage to 1 enemy 2 times. Prioritizing airborne units, you get extra 6% on there to get up to 60%. Upon casting the ultimate, reduces the attack interval by 20%, and each attack deals 70% damage 3 times. This effect lasts for 10 seconds. If an ultimate consumes 12 flying swords, the duration of this effect is extended by 5 seconds. So you get a little damage boost and a speed boost as well. Lethal Blade Storm. After an allied marksman casts their ultimate, gains 1 flying sword, and the following 3 basic attacks of this hero ignore an extra 25% defense. You can get it up to 30%. For the awakenings, I do have mine awakened 1. I used the legendary soulstone on him just to have that chance, but for Awakened 1, when the ultimate ends, there is a 40% chance of generating 4 flying swords immediately. You can see the benefit of that. It makes it so the next time you use his ultimate, you're using more swords as you activate the ultimate. Awakened level 2, attack plus 300, pretty standard, but it also boosts his lore bonus. Increases faction team members' damage to airborne units by 5%. Awakened level 3, duration of victorious pursuit, plus 5 seconds, kind of a big deal. Awakened 4 is a crit rate plus 8%, that doesn't really matter. And Awakened 5 is when deployed, immediately obtains 12 flying swords. As far as Awakened 4 and 5 go, they're not as big of a deal as 1 through 3, but I could see how Awakened 5 could be useful in certain scenarios. Say if you wanted to use them instead of Silas in an artifact material raid, or you just want to pop him down and just hit somebody really hard quickly, you can do that. I will say that he will not hit as hard as Silas. There's just no chance. He's got no shot in doing that. And quickly I'll go over the ideal artifact, which is going to be Spirit Siphon. And there's, as for a budget artifact, you could look at like an Eagle's Gaze or a Shadow Gaze as well. Whereas one, here's Shadow Gaze, extra 20% attack. Now for his attributes, he has a really high base attack at 4255, This is really high for a single target. It doesn't mean that he's going to be hitting super hard because it depends on his multipliers as well. His attack interval is pretty low. I think it starts off at 2. It's showing. I think it's showing what it is. Hold on a second. Yeah, it starts off at 2, and everything else is pretty standard. A rage regen auto of 14, HP 12.8, defense of 989. As for the Lord skill, increases faction team members' basic attributes by 15%. This is pretty standard for a Piercer Lord, or any Lord, Legendary Lord. Faction team members' attack ranges are also increased. So at this point, he's exactly the same as Araka. This is a big deal if you don't have any Piercer Lord. Gear Rate 3, 19, and well, it's just a Gear Rate 3 in general. Having that extra range is just huge, as far as having the ability to clear the stage. And where it changes, when deployed, faction team members' damage increases by 15% every 20 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. This is kind of why the best place to put him is going to be in the guild boss. Within 40 seconds, in general, you're going to be beating out Araka, just because you can't get that full range of Araka's or Lord skill as it is anyways. But it will, within 1 minute, max out at 45%, which if you're using Araka, the only one that can actually take advantage of her Lord skill is Idril, and we're going to compare that right now. Here's Araka's Lord skill. Like I said before, 15% of basic attributes, attack range is increased, and for every 1 tile away from the target, increases their damage by 5% up to 50%. Now that sounds like that she would do better, but like I said, you have to be 10 tiles away from your target in order to get that full 50%. And even with Idril, it's hard to get that maxed out 10 tiles away. There's some very large maps that you can take advantage of that, where she's going to do better versus Iovar, just with a combination of Idril. So in Gear Rate 3, I would actually advise using Araka instead. Alright, as far as gear sets go, how to gear them. If you are in Guild Boss, you can go with a little higher crit damage, but Soulbound Arcana is going to be your best set. And we will go over to look at the sets quick. Oh yeah, we have Soulbound Arcana, and then anything that boost single target damage was going to be good as well. I think that would be the Doom is going to be okay. The Wisdom, it's like a little mini Soulbound set. After using the ultimate skills, increases damage by 35% for 10 seconds. This is going to be very beneficial to him. Fracture is going to be okay. It's not going to be the greatest set for him. And then we're looking at Night Terror is also a good one. Increases damage by 25% for 3 seconds after making crit hits. Obviously, you should be building him for maxed out crit rate, and this is going to be a big benefit to him. Extra 25% pretty much continuously throughout the fight, especially with his low attack control. One other thing I want to mention is how capable he is as far as BP goes. He will be a very good hero to put into your Tide. He does require 10 skill crystals, and I don't know the relation to skill crystals and how BP is calculated, but I do know that it seems the more skill crystals you put into a hero, the more he seems to have a higher BP, kind of like Setram. And I don't think it has a lot to do with stats, but stats obviously help. But it is going to require a good old 10-ish crystals to get him maxed out, and that's going to be a little bit expensive. As far as skill priority, you're going to be looking for Infinite Blades, then you're going to be looking for Lethal Blade Storm, Victorious Pursuit, and as far as the basic goes, it's just basically a damage multiplier difference. Yeah, this isn't really the biggest deal. It's 10% total for 4 skills. And again, as far as good places to use the hero, he's going to be pretty decent in the Marksman Promotion Raid. He's also going to be decent in Guild Boss. Is going to be basically his #1 kind of place to be. Unfortunately, as far as gear raids, it doesn't look like he's very promising here. Gear Dungeon 2, he's going to be very good in up until about stage 6, just because he's going to have a hard time with damage. He's no Silas. He's no Hex. He might be a little better at some single target stuff than Hex. Okay, Artifact Material Raid. He's fine if you have it beaten already. You can use him for kind of speed running. But the issue is that you still need those 12 swords. You're going to have fighters and a tank there, like Oleg, in order to make sure that it lasts long enough. Whereas you have Silas and you place him down, he will pretty much clear the boss with just Oleg sitting there by the time any of the mobs spawn. Faction Trial he's going to be very good at. Maybe not the basic trial, but the Trial of Piercers he's going to definitely be good at. Tide he will be good at. Even though he's single target, he gets your BP high enough, and you know, most of us know that it's just a BP check. Immortal Codex is going to be, the Lord of Sticks is going to be a big place for him. and I'm looking forward to the Styx boss coming up next time, but it's gonna be not this next round, but probably the round after that because we just had him. Alright guys, that just about sums it up for the video. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out the Discord. We have hero guides in there with build guides, tier lists, artifact tier lists, and how they level, and just generally a good community to join and ask for help. I'm also offering takeovers nowadays. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep digging.